Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today we are going to present Metro Chemistry Lab Assignment. For today presenter is me, Nur Azwa binti Mahidin, Nur Ain Syahira Faiza binti Mahayani, and Nur Wildah Sulong. The question for lab assignment Metro Chemistry is first, what is material that used for main frame of car? What is material? Second one is what is the material for the door in front and rear panel? The third question is the interior component, and the fourth question is type of paint. The question number 1 is what material used for main frame of the car? Okay, most of the car use aluminum alloy as their main frame of the car. Why? Because the aluminum alloy is higher strength to weight, which is the aluminum alloy has a higher strength to weight ratio than a mild steel. Aluminum alloy also lightweight material, which is it enhances the performance and it can improve the fuel economy. Next, it has a high specific energy absorption, which is the aluminum alloy can absorb a lot more of kinetic energy, and it can be engineered to follow a very specific and predictable way in the event of crash. So when there is an accident, the passenger in the car will be safe. Next, the aluminum alloy is a strong material, which is the addition of alloying elements like manganese, silicon, copper, and magnesium can increase the strength properties of aluminium, and it can produce an alloy with the properties. And the lastly, and the important is the aluminum alloy is resistant to corrosion, which is it does not rust. Okay, the most important things why the aluminum alloy is used as the most used in the as the main frame of the car, which is it resistant to corrosion. The aluminum alloy that consists of atom of aluminum and oxygen that bonded together, so it can become chemically inert and thus unable to react rapidly with the additional water molecule or atmospheric oxygen. The atom that bonded together of aluminum and oxygen will form a compact oxide layer over the surface. So the layer over the surface is functioned to avoid the rust that happen when there is an reaction between the atoms and the water molecule and also air. The aluminum alloy also contains silicon and manganese that show a good resistance to corrosion in all atmosphere. It also a chemical elements that seem to resist corrosion even when it exposed to air and water. The question number 2 is what material used as an outer body such as door, in front and rear panel. Most of the outer body is used aluminium. Okay, first what we have to know what is inertia means. The inertia is function to keep the vehicles moving until some force slow it down or stop it. The first is because aluminum is able to absorb twice the energy than steel during an impact, which is it make an ideal candidate for building crash structure. So when there is an accident, the aluminum will absorb the energy and slow the times of movement of the crash. The time of collision of the car and the other things will be extended. So it is very fashionable to use aluminum as the outer body to keep the inertia. Okay, next it is inherent capability to absorb impact energy in a crash situation. Aluminum also a lighter, so it allows automaker to increase dent resistance, which is they can make body panels thicker while still lowering the weight. And a lower weight vehicle has a better acceleration, better braking and better handling. Next, the lighter vehicles can haul and tow more because the engine isn't carrying unneeded weight.
The question 3 is entire component, which is for dashboard, steering wheel, interior door cover. So the component used in the dashboard is a plastic. So there are a few of plastic that we use. First is a polyliner. So reason we use it because of high heat resistant, superior to that of to PE. So also it have a low cost. So advantage we use this plastic because of it helps maintain a coefficient material films through the interior of the vessel through use of the base of the same base material in different parts like a pillar cover, door panels, and IP. As this part are contract with each other, and we use PPE to enable them to stand uh, temperature circle. So the second is thermoplastic of olefins, or we call it as a TPO. So the reason for we use it because of low glass and density. It have a high intensive and toughness, and it also can be recycled. So the advantage that we use, we can easily inject molar to form a various part in IP. Is used more as a skin of PP form in a recent vehicle. So the the other component plastic that we use is acetonitrile butadiene estering. So reason for we use it because of high impact strength and toughness due to rubber of polybutadiene, high resistance to chemical stress, crack due to acetonitrile, so it easy to process. So advantage of using is because of it has a high degree of versatility as a ratio of a B, A, and S can be viral, able it to use in the pillar, and IP and door panel. So we also use ABS blend. So the reason for we use it is because of it can be easily to process. It also have a high reflection temperature. It can produce many different surface of type. So advantage of it is it able in a 4 different grade, general purpose, high flow, low molding, and low gloss. A current use Jets Joker and audit model. Next, we use polymer chloride. So reason we use it high price. So when it have high price, so we have it have a quality. So it also have a flame venticity. So the advantage is can be blend with ABC to form shade to making skin of IP through TPO can be equal to be a good alternative. So next we use SMA where we use it because of it has excellent resistance to resilient heat resistance compared to typical polystyrene. Advantage of it can be interposed with glass fiber to enhance with heat and with rubber to prevent plastic from become a brittle. We use it in IP in BMW and BMW 3 and 5 series and flat component covered with polyester foam. So lastly, we use polyethanols. Because of we use it, it have a high impact strength under low temperature. So it have a high temperature sweetener, so it can prevent heat. So advantage of it, polyethanol polites have been used to form instrument and door panel, variation, injection molding, rim, energy absorbing polyester formed with semi cell structure has been added to pillar and door enabling better production of the passenger in case EF side impact. So Also, in the steering wheel, we use foam thermoplastic foam plastic elastomer. So, thermoplastic thermoplastic foam material benefit because of it has a non-preferential carrier such as polyvinyl acetate. So, it does not degrade the acetate used to detach a cushion and for the cushion and or outside to the spring ring. So next is what we use for the interior of the cover of the window cover. So we use the polypropylene polypropylene homopolymer. So why we use this because of it has a strength it has a high strength to weight ratio and stiff and strong than copolymer. So it has a good chemical resistance and wearability. It also good in process stability. It good in impact density and stiffness. So it's suitable for the correlation resistant structure.
So for question 4, it states what type of paint that able to give a good protection for a car from any corrosion or damages. Before going into details on the types of paints that able to withstand any corrosion or damages, it is important for us to know that in automotive industries, 3 layers of coating are applied to a car. Primer or undercoat are the first layer of coating, followed by base coat as the second layer and clear coat as the third layer. Each layer of coating uses different types of paint and serves different purposes for a car in terms of appearance and protection against corrosion or damages. Primer or undercoat as the first layer of coating is a preparatory coating put on material before painting. It consists of 20 to 30% synthetic resin, 60 to 80% solvent, 2 to 5% additive agent, and polyethylene, which is plastic, for better durability. Zinc chromate paint is an odorless chemical compound primarily used as an industrial paint coating. This paint is mostly used in automotive industries due to the fact it is a good chemical and corrosion resistance. Zinc chromate paint dries up fast and allows single finish coat coverage when using a light colored top coat. Other than that, it adheres very well to steel, iron, aluminium, or partially rusted galvanized surfaces, and has the ability to protect the car from heat differences, bumps, stone chips, and UV light. At the second layer, which is base coat, it is applied after the primer coat and contains the visual properties of color and effects. In automotive industries, base coat are divided into 3 categories: solid, metallic, and Pearson pigments. For solid paint, it has no sparkles effect except for the color. This type of paint are the easiest type of paint to apply and commonly used for heavy transportation vehicles. Unfortunately, solid paint won't do the trick in protecting from damages such as dents, scratches, and other small damages. Meanwhile, metallic paint, also known as polychromatic, is a type of paint that has small aluminium particles or metals added into the paint in order to produce shiny effects on the car. Metallic paint is most favorable paint to be used in car making industries compared to solid paint, as has the ability to provide a minor protection against small damages and against discoloration caused by UV rays. Furthermore, color variation that is produced by some metallic colors makes it easier to cover small defects. Moving on to Pearson paint or pigments, they add shiny ceramic crystal known as mica crystal into paint mixture to give a pearl-like effect to the cars. These paint are unable to protect from any corrosion or damages. As a result, metallic paint is a better choice to be used for cars compared to solid paint and present paint. But as the name implies, base coat are just basic colored paint of the cars that would go on top of the primer layer. Even though metallic paint has the ability to protect from damages, it only provides protection for minor damages. Thus, clear coat is applied at the third layer coating. So basically, clear coat is a glossy and transparent paint coating that form final interface with the environment. It is to protect the paint that's underneath and make it shine, caused by the specialized chemicals that provide easy adherence to the flexible components like a plastic bumper. As for that, polyurethane paint are the most suitable type of paint to be used as clear coat. Polyurethane are result from chemical reaction between polyol, polyurethane, and polyisocyanate curing agent. These paint are lightweighted and possesses environmental resistance. It able to resist scratch and impact, has strong binding with various particles, also gives a smooth durable finish that has superior resistance towards corrosion, abrasion, and chemical exposure. And lastly, has the ability to withstand a certain range of temperature. That's all. Thank you.